Hello and welcome to this webinar on income protection options. This is session 1. My name is Chantal McGill and I'm a senior trainer here at iPipeline. There are 2 sessions available on income protection options, and within session 1 we will be covering off age costed, age banded products, indexation and inflation, dual deferred, and our CPD learning objective for this session is to understand the options when sourcing income protection. So without further ado, let's get started on age costed, age banded products. So what are age costed and age banded products? They are products that can be guaranteed premiums or reviewable premiums. So if they're reviewable, we don't know what those reviewable premiums will be, but they were reviewed annually going through the policy. So it does lead to the unknown. When it comes to age costed, age banded for reviewable, we know that the premiums are going to go up as their ages rise. Okay, so it's then factoring in the risk as they get older. With guaranteed premiums for age costed, age banded policies, you will be aware in the illustration of what those rises will be for the term of the policy. Now, in most cases, age costed, age banded products can be very affordable up until about age 50. Over age 50, the premiums do rise quite dramatically because of the risk of you needing to claim on this particular policy is higher at that point of your age. Okay, but we'll go into it in a little bit more detail as we go through today's session. So let's have a look at a case study today. This is Lewis Thomas on the screen. His date of birth is the 10th of October 1985. Lewis is a smoker and he works as a scaffolder. He is self-employed, earning £40,000 per year. He is looking for an income protection policy. So I'm now going to swap my screens over, and you should hopefully now see my iPipeline screen. So I'm going to log into iPipeline today and launch into our Solution Builder system to show you this. So when I launch in, I have got Lewis on the screen there. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see very clearly. And I'm going to select to do a new quote for Lewis. Now, within Solution Builder on the benefit basket, you'll have the option for income protection. When I click on income protection, if you're doing it as a single benefit, you will have the option for premium types of all, guaranteed or reviewable. If you're looking to make income protection as part of a multi-benefit plan, please do not select all, either select guaranteed or reviewable. If you select all premium types, you will be unable to enter any further benefits in. So because we're doing a single, I'm going to leave both in so you can see the difference. We're going to look to give Lewis a policy up to age 65, and we are going to be considering short-term plans. So with this question here, include limited benefit payment period. This means include short-term. So if I select yes, I will see short-term and full IP. If I select no, it will show me full IP only. I'm going to go for the maximum benefit available, and Lewis requires a 1-week deferred period. Now, as I enter in this information, Solution Builder will give you your indicative quote in the top right-hand corner. So straight away, it's telling me it's going to cost £217. Now, with the indicative here, it doesn't take into account age-banded, age-costed products, so we are likely to see them being much cheaper than what is showing here. So as I scroll down, I'm going to save that benefit in, and now I'm going to go over to the right hand side of the page underneath indicative total and select quote now. When I do so, this is going to produce my comparison and all the results that are available. Now, you may remember that £217 on the previous screen. Straight away, I can see that with the age banded or age costed products here, this is British Friendly Protect, it's a guaranteed age costed 1-year plan, that's actually at £50.70. Okay, I can then view all the results here as well, and I can see that one is a guaranteed plan. The income protection, I also have some filtering here, so I can choose to select guaranteed only products if I want, and age banded only. If I do that, it will change my results to show guaranteed and age banded only. If I wanted to look at not age banded, just so we can see the price difference, by doing so, straight away I can see that the cheapest not age banded policy would be a 2-year plan with Cirencester friendly at £221. The cheapest full IP plan that would be available that was not age banded would also be with Cirencester friendly here at £241. So a couple of factors here that are making the premium so high with Lewis. 1, he's a smoker. 2, he's a scaffolder, so it's a higher risk occupation. He is self-employed and he is looking for a 1-week deferred period. So all of those factors are playing into even those short-term policies being expensive. And this is where age-banded, age-costed plans can really have value. So let's go back to those age-banded only products here. And I can have a look. There are many options available that are all between £50 and about £80 there. We're looking at those ones. There are some other ones that are a little bit more expensive in the hundreds there as well. Now, the first thing I always say when it comes to if you've entered in maximum benefit is use the comparison report on the top here, either with or without commission, it doesn't matter at this point, just to check what those maximums are that are available with the providers. So I'm just going to wait for my Adobe to load in. But straight away I can see here that that British friendly Protect is going to be, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it properly as well, £2,166.67. The breathing space product, which is a different type of product, will do a maximum benefit of 1,250. LV, you can see 2,000. Cirencester are a similar figure to British friendly there, and scrolling down, the Exeter would be 2,000. So showing you the options that are available, and this is the quickest way to check what that maximum would be. Okay, so I'm having a look at the options that could be available. Obviously the cheapest one with British friendly is at this price to start off with. It's a 1-year plan. The cheapest 2-year plan is going to be with Cirencester friendly, and theirs is going to be at £64.63 there. So from 1 year worth of cover to 2 years, we're looking at about a starting price of £14.63 difference. So back into Solution Builder here, if I want to have a look at what those age banded rises are going to be, I'm going to go back here for the British friendly. I use the right hand drop down here and select quote details. Within here, I've got further information, so the product guide, product sales guide, policy summary, etc., and an overview of that policy. If I open up the illustration, this is then going to take me into that personal illustration for Lewis. It's going to give an overview of the information that I've requested the quote on. But if I scroll down, which I might have to wait for my Acrobat to come to life, let's take a little time sometimes on a Monday morning. So here are the age banded, age costed premiums. So let me zoom in on this a little bit for you as well. So with British friendly, for the first 2 years that he has this policy, it is going to remain at that monthly premium of £50.70. It's going to rise slowly between 40 and about 47 there. Okay, so it's still going to be under the other product that's Cirencester friendly for those periods of time. However, you can see there's quite a dramatic rise in premiums from age 50 and above. However, to match this with the nearest non-age banded product, it would take until Lewis was age 61, so 2047, to reach those same premiums. Okay, so it is a lot more of an affordable way of providing this cover for clients that maybe have a short deferred period, maybe have a more higher risk occupation. Now, one thing that's always really important to me if you're advising on age banded and age costed is having regular communication with that client to make sure that nothing in their circumstances have changed, in which case that this might not be a suitable policy anymore, and we might want to get an actual guaranteed plan in place for them. Okay, so that's something always worth bearing in mind when we're having the conversations about age banded, age costed. I'm also going to show you the 2-year plan as well. So I'm going to click again on view all results here, and I'm going to scroll down to that Siren Tester Friendly, and I'm then going to select the quote details for this one and open up the illustration once it bounces back. So the monthly benefit amount on these two is similar, but obviously it's a 1 versus 2-year plan there. So this is the Siren Tester illustration that has come back whilst I wait for my Adobe to warm up. Again, if I scroll down into the 3rd page, it's going to show me those rises. Okay, so unlike British Friendly, it will rise after the 1st year. Okay, but it is still cheaper than doing a non-age banded plan up to age 57. But because this is a 2-year plan, so you're getting an extra year's worth of cover, the premiums are rising higher to start off with as well. And then from age 48, they will be over the £100 mark. So that's something worth bearing in mind. So just wanted to show both the options there that could be a consideration. But what this is more affordable income protection for your clients. All right. So hopefully that helps having a look at that. So now back onto our presentation, just an overview here. Age costed, guaranteed, and age costed reviewable. They can also be known as escalating premiums, as the monthly cost will increase each year as you age. These increases are more significant between the ages of 50 to 60 due to the risk of your health deteriorating being much larger. All right, so just giving you that bigger overview about the product. All right, so that's age banded, age costed for you. Now let's move on to indexation and inflation. So having a look at the table here, this is how inflation has risen since 1987, and you can see it has risen dramatically. So if you bought £100,000 of insurance in 1987, it is not going to be worth the same amount of money today as it would have been then. Okay, so we need to have a look at the different options that could be available to future-proof our clients' insurances. And for income protection, there are 3 options available. The first is to get your policy to track with the retail price index, also known as RPI. The second is to set it against a fixed increase, and the options we have there are for 3% and also for 5% there as well. So how do these options affect your clients and what do they mean? So if we have a look first at the retail price index, okay, if you choose to select this as part of your quote within Solution Builder, and I'll show you where it can be found once we've gone through these. With the retail price index, okay, most of the providers will have a maximum increase per annum. Okay, so if the retail price index, for example, went to 15%, the providers aren't going to increase it by that amount. All right, some of them have a maximum of 5%, some go up to 12%. The most commonly used one is 10%. Okay, because it is the unknown to our clients of, right, our premium is at the moment £50. we've got RPI on this, what can that mean each year? Okay, and again, this is where having that annual communication with your clients is incredibly important. All right. So when it comes to the increases, most of the providers use a multiplier of 1.5 per 1% increase to increase the premium. All right, so for example, if it rises by 1%, they will multiply your premium by that 1.5, okay, and your annual benefit will go up by the 1%. Okay, so the annual benefit is on the RPI increase there. Simon's Leicester Friendly are the only provider that do something slightly different. They use consumer price index rather than retail price index there as well. Now, dependent on the provider, the annual charges will either occur on the 1st of January each year or on your plan anniversary, dependent on the provider. And there's a note here that says see notes. If you go into the key features documentation and use Control and F, you'll be able to search on the word index. Now I find index is better to search on than indexation. Okay, if you pop index in, you will find the relevant section that gives you the more information of what they do in regards to indexation. Now the client can turn down the increase, and many providers offer the ability to turn this down. If you turn it down, it doesn't mean that your policy ends. It just means that it will then go to a level policy rather than an increasing. Some providers will allow you to turn it down once, others will allow you to turn it down up to 3 times. And again, using that control find option, you can find all of that within the key features documentation. So what are the positives to RPI? Your benefit is increasing with inflation, all right, which should mean that it's going to keep up with the cost of living, etc. going forward. And you do have the options to turn down the increases as well. What are the negatives to it? So the unknown of next year's premium. Okay, so you can't forward plan until that 1st of January or the policy anniversary has happened. There is also no reduction with negative inflation. So if inflation did go into a negative, your premium and your sum assured will stay the same, but it will not reduce with negative inflation. And the other options that are available, as I said earlier, are 3 and 5%. Okay, so these are fixed increases. Again, many of the providers use the multiplier of 1.5 per 1% increase to increase the premium, and the annual benefit is on the increase themselves. Not all providers support fixed increasing. Okay, a lot more do support RPI than support the fixed. Again, annual changes either occur on the 1st of January each year or on your plan anniversary, dependent on the provider. Again, the client can turn down the increase, and many providers offer the ability to turn this down up to 3 times. So the positives to this, your benefit is increasing with a set amount per annum, and you've got the option to turn down increases. The negatives to this, inflation could be at a different rate, and you could end up being overinsured if salary increases that you believe would happen. So for example, someone could say to you, oh, my salary gets increased by 3% each year. Great, let's put this on. But actually they could change occupation, something could happen and they don't get those same increases. So we do need to be really mindful that they don't end up overinsured with this. And I know I'm going to rattle on, but it's where annual communication with our clients is really, really important. So let me now show you where you can find this within Solution Builder. So I'll show you on Lewis's one here. If I go into Requote and edit that IP, at the bottom of the page here, I've got the option for RPI, 3 and 5%, and I simply make that change there. Okay, so that's how simple it is to add it in. And I also think of this like a prompt to have that conversation with the client about, you know, future-proofing their protection. All right, so that's how you can deal with indexation and inflation. So now moving on to the last session within this one, which is on dual deferred options. So, oh, bear with me. me, I just need to change my so hopefully now you can see my dual deferred options. Okay, so what are dual deferred? Dual deferred periods are available for clients who have a more complex sick pay arrangement. This normally affects the likes of NHS nurses, dentists, doctors, and mainly most NHS staff, teachers and civil servants, and they will receive a different sick pay arrangement. So what this means, they'll receive full pay for a period before moving to a half pay 50% scenario. These sick pay arrangements don't fit in with normal income protection policies. So for a dual deferred option, you can select to split or defer the benefit payout to 2 different deferred periods and for different amounts of cover to reflect your sick pay scheme. So on the left hand of this page, I've got an example of how teachers' sick pay works. And you can see it is in increments. So depending on how long you have worked as a teacher, depends how your dual deferred works. And on the right hand side, I have got NHS workers, and again you can see in the first 5 years there is variations until you've completed 5 years of service, where it goes to the 6 months full and 6 months half. Okay, so there is a lot of different options to consider there, and that's where it makes it more complex for our clients. So I want to show you a couple of different options that you can do when it comes to dual deferred periods. So the first thing I always recommend doing is using a dual deferred calculator to work out what is available for your clients. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen with you and we'll have a look through a couple of them. So hopefully now you can see my screen and you should see Aviva. So we don't have a dual deferred calculator within Solution Builder, but I'm going to show you some of them that are available with the providers. So this is Aviva's. Okay, very simple. You enter in what their gross annual earnings are, how many months of full pay is received, and how many months of reduced pay, and what is their percentage of gross annual income that they will continue to receive when they are on reduced pay. You then click calculate. So it's then going to show you on an annual and a monthly basis the overall maximum they can offer, the maximum benefit they can offer at the first deferred period and also the second. Now, look at this, leave those figures up there for Aviva, and I'm then going to go across to Zurich's one. Right, so with Zurich's here, if I click on star, I'm going to enter in the exactly same information in here. So £50,000 next. Yes, they do. 6 months, 50%, 6 months, next. They give you the option to look at full and short term here, and then it will show you the amounts. Now, if I look at that compared to Aviva, it's different. Okay, so it can be very complex when it comes to looking at dual deferred, and I'm not meaning to make it more complicated, but I'm also going to show you LV and Royal London as well. Okay, so in LV, it's a split waiting period calculator that you need, and they do ask for a name. So I'm just going to pop my own name in there for a second and pop in that 50,000, 6 months, 6 months. And you'll see LV basically split the maximum they offer straight down the middle. That, okay. And then also Royal London, they have a maximum income calculator that you can download here as well. As if by magic, here's one I did earlier. So I can open that up. It's an Excel spreadsheet that you can save on your computer. You can amend the grey box here and it will show you what those maximums are that you're able to do overall for the client. Okay, so that is an option to look at when it comes to the maximum incomes and dual deferreds that you can look at utilising some of the providers' sites. So we are going to be using a case study today, and the case study that we are looking at, I'm just going to pop up on the screen, so bear with me 1 second. So you should now be able to see the details for Felicity Jones. Felicity's date of birth is the 4th of December 1985. She is a non-smoker and she is a Band 7 clinical nurse. She has already completed 5 years of service, 6 months full pay and 6 months half pay. Her current salary is £38,890 per annum and her monthly take home is £2,508.94. She is looking for income protection. So these are the details that we will be utilising. So coming back into Solution Builder, I'm going to go up to my client search and I'm going to search on Felicity. Now, Felicity isn't in my system, so just to show you, I can quickly add her in. So you're getting this as an extra to show how easy and quick it is to add in Felicity. So we've got Felicity here, Felicity Jones, and her date of birth is 4th of 12, 1985. She is female, a non-smoker, employed, 38,890, and she is a nurse. And I'm going to save her in. That's how simple it is to add in those case study details there as well. Now I'm going to pop over to income protection here. Felicity wants guaranteed premiums and we're covering her to age 67. She ideally would like full IP and I can't select to do maximum for her because I'm doing dual deferred. So I click on dual deferred here. So I am going to use LVs as my example here. So I'm going to amend these details and put in that 38,890. So LV would do 972 and 972. Okay, that's the total cover. So you can see there is a difference. Obviously, it's not going to cover the full percentage of her income if she was off sick. So we're going to go for that 972 and put that in for the first 6 months, and then another 972 and put that at 12 months. Now, at this point, some people go, oh, does that mean I'm not going to get a quote? Because the indicative quote comes up with the pound and the dash. It doesn't mean you're not going to get a quote. It just means we haven't got enough data to give you an indicative at this time. So please continue because your quotes will appear. I'm going to save that benefit in and I'm going to click on quote now. So I've now got my results back and I can view all results here and see the providers that are available. Okay, got the options there. If a provider you're expecting to return hasn't, you can go across in here. So it's a limited one only, dual deferred plans aren't supported. So showing you those different options there. So going back here. Now, there's one other thing I want to show you, which is in regards to compare quality. Okay, there is an article in regards to NHS workers on Protection Guru, which is part of the compare quality option. So I'm going to go across to Protection Guru here. Will ask me to log in. You can register, it's completely free to use their website. And then you'd hope it would work. So let me try again. So here there are additional information, for example, on income protection here. Okay, so different options to consider. I'm going to click on income protection. Okay, and you've got different options to consider. Goes into the features and the benefits of the plan. So if you're trying to search on a particular area, if you go back up to the top, there is a search functionality here, and I'm going to go for dual deferred if it lets me. Okay. So there we go. So if I click on this article here, it will give you hopefully more information on that here as well. Okay, so you've got the lengths of service here, and then more information on sick pay matching. Okay, so there are special options when it comes to NHS medical professionals, and these are offered by 7 insurers, which ensures the client deferred period matches their sick pay arrangements. Okay, so a single 12-month deferred period is available by these providers here. Some may not be on your panel, and Legal & General and Zurich also do a dual 6 and 12-month deferred options, and these are the occupations that can be covered. So depending on which provider you're going for, there's options for doctors, surgeons, NHS, nurses, midwives, and dentists. Okay, Vitality also offer their sick pay matching for other public sector workers, non-teachers as well. So you've got further options there to consider. Okay, so lots of additional information on Protection Guru, and I show it when it comes to this particular option to show where you can find that additional information as well. So I'm going to share now with you our customer support information. So we have a fantastic customer support team here at iPipeline. They can be accessed using the live chat service at the top of each and every page within Solution Builder. You can also call or email us as well. We also have a separate help site, so customer portal. It's available at help.ipipeline.uk.com. Here there are knowledge-based articles, training resources, including bite-sized videos, previous webinar libraries, product frequently asked questions, live chat, feedback loop, and user studies as well. So thank you for watching this video. I'll recap on our CPD learning objective today, which is to understand the options when sourcing income protection. And don't forget to watch the video on session 2 as well. Thanks.